All right. Good evening. We are live here, 7 o'clock. Beautiful Friday evening out there. I'm Ryan here. Going to do a quick live stream. Give me a audio check if you guys don't mind. I am getting a little loud feedback on my end. So let me know how I sound. Sound good? Okay, cool. Good on my end. Okay, as long as I'm good, let's go ahead and get started here. So I'm going to go ahead and start off by saying I am sick, so I'm going to keep things short and to the point tonight. I don't want to be on here too long, but I do want to give you a heads up on what's ahead next 24 to 36 hours. I'm going to breeze through this, take some questions, and hop off. So today, as you guys well know, we had quite a bit of wind out there. Highest gust today over in the Detroit area, Detroit City Airport, gusted to 66. Detroit Metro Airport, gusted to 67. Over toward the Jackson area, they gusted to 67 as well. Battle Creek to 61. Elsewhere, 45, 50, low 50s or so for your highest gust. Pretty windy day out there. We did have 35,000 people out of power, or should I say 35,000 customers out of power in Michigan. We are now down to 9,500 as of current time, 7:02 p.m. here Friday evening. So kudos to the crews out there, consumers, DTE, all the rest who are in Michigan, getting power back on there for residents here in the state. Shout out to all those guys. So that's behind us. We are moving ahead into tomorrow morning. We have quite a bit of weather to discuss, but overall, not a major system. We were hinting at perhaps a bigger snow system earlier in the week. As we got closer to it, models have kind of backed off on the idea of bigger snow. We're going to get snow still, but it's not going to be a major snow. Let's talk temperatures here throughout the evening. The warm air that was around us this morning has now exited off into Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Ontario. We are now in the 40s and 30s here as of 7 p.m. tonight. Not too bad out there. As we move into the evening hours, we're going to drop right around freezing mark overnight into Saturday morning. We see the UP up there in the 20s. And for the lower part of Michigan, we are in the low 30s, mid 20s up there in north and lower. Overall, right around freezing or so for a lot of us. It's going to start snowing throughout this time frame here. And we're going to see temperatures further north are colder than they are further south. And that's a big key factor here. We'll talk about more of that in just a second. Overall temperatures are going to stay the same until Saturday evening. A bit more colder air fills in, and we're in the teens and 20s here overnight into Sunday morning. Winds will also pick up around this time frame as well into Sunday morning. Sunday's going to be quite cold out there. Let's talk future radar and timing with this system. We're dry right now into the evening hours. Overnight will be dry as well. We get toward the sunrise hours, about 5, 6, and after that tonight, we are going to be seeing precipitation move in to the UP first. So the western UP up there could have snowflakes as early as about that 4 or 5 a.m. time frame. Further south, where the majority of the population is located, we are seeing precip start right around the 8 to 9 a.m. time frame. Could be a bit before that, but overall, we're seeing a couple areas of freezing drizzle to start off with this system. That is because those temperatures, as we mentioned, are hovering right around freezing. So we cut a little bit of a mix there of snow, perhaps some rain, some freezing rain as well. So the entire lower part of Michigan could see this precip start as light freezing drizzle. It may slick up some surfaces, primarily sidewalks and elevated bridges, stuff like that. Roads should be fine, at least to start. Overall, not expecting it to be too long duration for it to be impactful to roads. But as we push and progress into the late morning, into early afternoon on Saturday, a changeover to most all snow is expected, but we looked at temperatures. They're hovering right around freezing for a lot of these areas. So there could be a little bit of a mix at times for South Michigan of some snow, some rain, perhaps some freezing rain as well, but it should primarily be a rain-snow mix for you guys, especially as you get further south toward the Indiana and Ohio borders. Further north, we are cold enough for it to be all snow, no mixing up there going on. But this will continue into Saturday afternoon. We're at 2 p.m. now. Here's 3 p.m., 4 p.m., here's 5 p.m. Do take note, we have some rain mixing in down there by the 94 corridor. Not a surprise at all by that. And then as we move this into Saturday evening, we are going to see it change over into a lake effect event into the late Saturday night into Sunday morning time frame. Winds will turn out of the north-northwest, and by the time we get to Sunday morning, we are seeing several inches, potentially, of lake effect in very localized, keyword is very, very localized areas across portions of the state. That system will end Sunday afternoon, about noon or so. We'll have lake effect showers still ongoing, but then a second weaker clipper system also decides to take aim at the UP. That could also add an inch or two of accumulation for you guys up there in the UP. As far as snowfall accumulation goes on the latest model, we are seeing the bulk of it occurring Saturday morning in early afternoon time frame. We were seeing, if we go back 7 days or so on the global models, the European, the GFS, the Canadian model, we were seeing some totals close to a foot. As you can see, things change very rapidly here in Michigan. It's also why we don't like to highlight forecasts. We can highlight systems, but details like exact snowfall rates and stuff are yet to be known until we get to the day 2, day 3 of the event. So, latest snowfall totals here on the short-term model. We see a widespread area across lower Michigan of 1 to 6 inches or so. The bulk of this is going to fall on the west side of Michigan here, as well as areas north of US 10, also in Huron County, the Thumb region. We'll add that area in, and points northward. We have a general 2 to about 6 inches of snow being shown here, and they're also, with lake effect that does like to kick up, those purple-pink swaths in very localized areas. We're going to see pockets within that could top 6 inches in spots, primarily across northern lower and also the central part of the UP here, just south of Marquette. That area typically gets a little bit more in the way of snow due to lake enhancement. So within the 2 to 6 zone, we're going to see localized areas of a bit higher amounts. But overall, definitely not a huge snowstorm as it was looking 7 days ago. Another thing to mention as well, between the lake effect snow and Sunday morning especially, but starting late Saturday night, we'll back up here. The wind. This morning was pretty intense. There goes the wind, moving it off into the east of us. We are calm overnight tonight. Tomorrow we start calm. The later we get into Saturday, the more the winds are going to pick up, and by about 8 to 9 to 10 p.m. in the evening, we're seeing gusts ramp back up into the mid-20s, up into the mid-30s as well. So 25 to 35 mile per hour gusts possible. These will increase overnight. They start shifting out of the north-northwest, and by Sunday morning we see, again, 30 to 35 mile per hour gusts, and the green zone there could top some 40s in some spots, so perhaps 45 max. Right now, not seeing similarities to this morning. This morning was a little bit higher than this event will be, but combine the wind Sunday, especially with lake effect snow, we could see some reduced visibilities as well as blowing snow in some spots, especially lake effect belts. So if you have travel plans on the western side of lower Michigan, northern lower, or the UP, plan for some slick travel as well as reduced visibility. That is the forecast. Not a huge deal, but it is worth hopping on here to talk about. So if you guys are just looking for the quick update, that is it. I'm going to talk very briefly about the long term. For those of you who don't watch the daily YouTube videos we put out, we are heading into a very active weather pattern. And I'm not talking about major snow chances or major systems, but I'm talking repetitive, small, weaker systems that look to take aim at us here in Michigan over the next 10 days or so. Here's what I mean. So, system this morning, moving off to the east of us. We are dry tonight. Here comes tomorrow's system. Here's Saturday's snow. We see it over Michigan there. A little bit of a break there between Sunday afternoon and evening before a clipper moves in for the UP. Monday morning, that impacts the state of Michigan. Monday evening, we're dry, but here we go back into things. Tuesday morning, another clipper system comes in with some rain, perhaps a mix and some snow filtering in there as well for Tuesday. That moves in, kind of lingers into Wednesday as well, develops into a bit more of a dynamic system off to the east of us, but it gives us precip for a long duration, should I say light precip as well. Thursday, we are calmer to start, but then, as you guessed it, here comes another weaker system that impacts portions of the state. Here's Saturday. So almost every single day next week has precip chances. None of these look major or impactful, but they are still going to dump a few inches of snow at a time for sections of Michigan. I can't tell you where and when exactly just yet, but the overall pattern here is trending very active. So bear with us through the week. probably going to see a lot of snow forecasts. It's important that you check the date on that forecast as well, because we're going to have probably at least six forecasts coming out to you guys throughout the next 7 days. So keep everything in order. Make sure you're checking those dates, not to get confused with other days. Taking a peek here at the long term, which I just X'd out accidentally, my tab. Oh, easy fix though. Open this back up. There we go. Change this back to the good old morning run. There we go. Next 15 days of temperatures here in the state of Michigan. Based out of Lansing. We're colder next 5 to 10 days. Next 5 days at least, though, we're seeing mid-30s for Lansing. Could be 40 on Tuesday of next week. But then pushing out toward mid-month, the 15th and after, especially toward late month, we're seeing signs and trends that the end of the month is going to be colder and a little bit snowier, or at least chances for it to be snowier, with the overall pattern trending in a direction that we like to see for winter weather and perhaps some bigger systems. That is late month. So we're watching that time frame carefully. Also seeing the polar vortex being disrupted again. That's possible as well. We'll have to see how that plays out into February as well. But late January, time frame to watch here for a little bit of a cool down and more systems as well. That is all I have to share with you guys. With that being said, I'll take some questions here, but I don't want to stay on here too long. If you caught the ending of it, but at the start, I am sick, dealing with a little bit of a sore throat as well as a congestion cough, so I don't want to be on here too long. Trying to rest my voice a little bit. But I will take some questions and hop out of here shortly. While you guys do that, I will give a shout out to our spotlight sponsor of the day. It is Mike Hayes Roofing and Siding out of the Thumb of Michigan, Sanilac and St. Clair counties. Rainy days, you can call Mike Hayes. 810-984-4564. And a thank you to Mike Hayes Roofing and Siding, also returning for 2026. So we're glad to have them back for this year. Please go over timing again. I can certainly do that. So go ahead and jump back here to the future cast here. So tonight we're dry unless you're in the UP. Closer to 5 a.m., that's when snow could begin here in the UP, right around that 4 to 5 a.m. time frame. I assume a lot of you guys are watching just because the population of Michigan, 90% of us are down here somewhere. But if you're up in the western UP in Gogebic or Ontonagon counties, you guys can get some snow there as early as the sunrise, 5, 6, 7 a.m. time frame. For those of us further south and east in lower Michigan, mixed precip could start right around 7 to 8 a.m. We're seeing some patchy freezing drizzle there, but the bulk of this is going to start moving in closer to noon, about 10 to about noon, and then after that as well. If you're over in the Detroit area, Thumb region, could get some slick spots out there with freezing drizzle, but the bulk of this precip arrives early afternoon for you guys. So really, for a lot of us, we're going to see precip rates increase late morning into the afternoon on Saturday. This will clear. The western UP will see a little bit of a clearing there Saturday evening, but the bulk of us will clear out sometime mid to late evening on Saturday, and then turns into lake effect for localized areas with scattered sporadic lake effect snow showers into Saturday night into Sunday morning. So really, the bulk of this is going to fall Saturday afternoon. Any other questions? How is cloud cover looking tonight? Well, I do not know that question, actually. I know what you're after, Janelle. Honestly, this model says we are clearing out tonight across a lot of lower Michigan, so if there's any chance for Aurora tonight, which I don't know if there is, I've not been following that closely. It doesn't look too bad right now, actually. So looking at weather cameras across the state, I actually do have this this pulled up, I believe. Yeah, I do. So I do see a lot of clouds here, but if you look on some of these cameras, we do have some patchy clearing. This is in Frankenmuth from Jan's Professional Dry Cleaners. Let's see what else we got here. We also got Bayport. Bayport over the lake here on Saginaw Bay has stars out, courtesy of Bayport Fish. So yeah, we have some clearing for sure. Appreciate you guys. Fun times back for month number 6. Happy Friday. Feel better, Ryan. Thank you. Fun times. And also thank you for your support. I sound pretty good. At least I feel like I do. But I go into coughing fits pretty easily. And my throat is just irritated. So. Red Dozer with a super chat says, Ryan, freeze some Sunny Delight in ice cube trays and suck on them. They feel good on a sore throat. I will have to look into that. Thank you, Red, for that support. Did I miss any other? I did, actually. Red gifting 10 memberships, so thank you, Red Dozer, for those gifted memberships. Also, Red again, back a few minutes ago, gifting a super chat of 20 bucks. So thank you, Red, for your support. Did I miss anybody else? I don't believe I did. Cool. I'm caught up. You guys are blowing up chat right now. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Barometric pressure. This system is not going to be overly deep. So we're looking at really 997 millibar low. So for reference, the very last major system we had that brought a lot of wind like a week and a half ago, that got down to 975, 976 range. So this is definitely not near as strong. So if you're very sensitive, if you're keyword very sensitive to low pressure systems, it's going to be overhead. So you may feel the effects of it, but it's not going to be as strong as the last one. So I would have to imagine that impacts to us as human barometers won't be as bad. What is next week I'm looking like? Cindy, being 7 days out, it's impossible to tell you the exact details, but I will say, if you're just tuning in here, we are heading into a week ahead of us of very weak systems passing through almost every single day. And that may include the weekend time frames. So I would be alert for perhaps some very minor impacts or disruptions to travel. But being 7 days out, I can't give you a solid answer either way. I would say check back Wednesday. A better idea then. We do daily videos. For a lot of you guys who watch us on live streams, we do daily videos every single day over on YouTube. It's YouTube only. We do about 5 to 10 minute long videos breaking down daily conditions next day, as well as taking a peek in the long term as well. I highly recommend watching those videos because if you're wondering if there's systems upcoming, that's where we talk about it. Of course, we'll post it on Facebook as well, once we have confidence to do it, but we really talk about the nitty-gritty details over on YouTube, so I highly recommend checking it out. About noon every day, we have videos coming out to you guys. And then starting February 1st, a bit of an advertisement here. On the days that we don't have much to talk about, usually fall or late spring is when those time frames usually exist. On the days we don't have anything to break down, we're going to do a live stream at 6 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, X, and Twitch. Like this one, but it's gonna be very short. It's gonna focus on just the day ahead of us, so you guys know what to plan for the day. Vitamin C and vitamin D3 and zinc does wonders. I agree. I'm a big believer in vitamins. I take a vitamin C pretty regularly. What does it look like for Lenawee County tomorrow? Just wet rain. Donna, a mix of rain, but you will get some snowflakes mixing in there. It could accumulate slushy inch, maybe 2 at most for you guys. Going back to the model here for the snowfall accumulations. There we go. We're seeing on the model, this is just a model, 1 inch in Adrian there. But if you go up to Ann Arbor, it says 1.9 inches. Monroe's at 1 inch or so. But temperatures are going to hang out right around freezing, 33, 34 degrees for you guys. So it's going to have to snow hard for it to stick. But it still could stick to like grassy surfaces or perhaps elevated roads or bridges. So it could still be impactful in some areas, but it should melt pretty quickly for you guys further south and east for the Metro Detroit area, Lenawee County included. Excuse me. Thank you, Red. Appreciate you tuning in. All right. I'm going to hop out here, guys. I appreciate you tuning in. I didn't want to stay live for too long, so I'm going to wrap up here with a shout out to our sponsors, as always. StormGuard, roofing and construction, based out of the Detroit metro area. We have Katz, roofing and siding, based out of Potterville. We have McKay, tree specialist, out of southeast Michigan. Kuiper Tree Care in West Michigan. On Top Roofing, also in, sorry, not also. They're in Livingston County and surrounding areas across southeast Michigan. Top Gun is in West Michigan, roofing exteriors for you guys there. A-Class Construction Restoration, also roofing, up in northwest Lower Michigan, Mason County, surrounding areas. Rainbow Restoration in Kent County and surrounding areas as well. Our Skycam sponsor, Guardian Technologies, based out of Burton. Communication sponsor, Rapid Radios. American Arbor, tree sponsor in southwest Michigan. Apex Restoration and Mitigation in Grand Blanc. The RMHC House of Detroit, feel free to donate by calling on the number on your screen there. And lastly, we do have Clear Plow Snow Pushers for a unique way to clear snow without breaking your back. Check out Clear Plow Snow Pushers. They're also local to us here in Michigan, so pretty cool local company there to check out if you guys want a unique way to clear snow. With that said, I'm going to sign off here. We'll have updates on the page tomorrow throughout the snow event. Overall, not a huge deal, but still impactful to travel for certain areas here in the state. So, if you're traveling, that's going to be the major story. Be safe out there. The question, as always, do I roll the winter outro or the beach outro? Let me know. First 5 votes will determine. Evan says winter, so there's 1 vote. Have beach, so 1 and 1. Beach has 2. Beach has 3, so there you go. All right, I'll catch you guys probably sometime tomorrow for a live update in the middle of the event. Stay safe out there, guys. Thanks for watching.